Good morning, everyone. My name is Yoko Matsuda from Osaka, Aomori University in Japan. Today, I would like to present our study on the relationship between simultaneous event occurrence and twin language in monozygotic twins. The aim of this study is to investigate scientifically a phenomenon that has long been regarded as anecdotal. Twins often report unusual experiences. For example, they sometimes experience the same event even while living apart. In this study, we refer to this phenomenon as simultaneous event occurrence, or SEO. Twins also sometimes describe telepathic-like communication, in which they seem to understand each other without speaking, and some even develop their own unique language, known as twin language. Although these phenomena have been recognized around the world for many years, they have received very little scientific attention. This pilot study was inspired by my own experience as an identical twin. My twin sister and I have experienced many episodes of telepathic-like communication and simultaneous event occurrence, which made me wonder whether these experiences are more than simple coincidence. I have also been studying twin language for many years. Twin language, a unique form of communication between twins, has long been recognized as a characteristic phenomenon among twins. Previous studies suggest that both genetic similarity and close relationships contribute to its development. This led me to wonder whether these same factors might also underlie other shared experiences between twins, including simultaneous event occurrence. Twin language is a unique form of communication that develops during early childhood and has been reported in approximately 40% of twin pairs. Previous studies suggest that it develops because twins have a very close relationship and spend a great deal of time together, leading them to imitate each other's immature speech rather than adult language. Twin language has been reported and studied in many countries around the world. Although it usually disappears as children grow older, it may have long-term effects on cognitive and communication development.
Previous studies have suggested that identical twins may show synchronized brain activity and physiological responses. Although these findings do not prove telepathy, they suggest that twin synchronization may have a biological basis. Twin language has also been reported more frequently in monozygotic twins than in dizygotic twins. In addition, many parents have reported that twin language is more likely to be observed in twins who have a very close relationship and enjoy playing together. Now, I'd like to explain the methods used in this study. We recruited twins who were interested in simultaneous event occurrence, or SEO, through personal referrals. As a result, 9 twins agreed to participate in this study. Next, I'd like to introduce the participants in this study. A total of 9 twins participated in this study, ranging in age from 9 to 70 years. All 9 participants reported experiencing simultaneous event occurrence, or SEO. Among them, 7 were monozygotic twins and 2 were dizygotic twins. 5 participants reported having experienced twin language, and all participants reported having had a close relationship with their co-twin during early childhood. Next, I'd like to explain how we collected the data. We collected information on participants' sex, zygosity, and their experiences of simultaneous event occurrence, including a free text description of the experience. We also asked about their experience with twin language and the level of closeness they had with their co-twin during early childhood. Now, I'd like to present the results of this study. Although the number of participants was small, we identified several clear patterns. I'll present the findings from 3 perspectives: zygosity, twin language, and childhood closeness. This figure provides an overview of the main findings of our study. There are 3 key findings. First, 7 of the 9 participants were monozygotic twins. Second, 5 participants had experienced twin language, and all of them were monozygotic twins. Third, all participants reported having had a close relationship with their co-twin during early childhood. I'll explain each of these findings in more detail in the following slides. First, I'd like to discuss the relationship between simultaneous event occurrence, or SEO, and zygosity. All 7 monozygotic twins reported experiencing SEO. These findings suggest that genetic factors may play a role in the occurrence of SEO. Next, I'd like to discuss the findings from the genetic perspective. Monozygotic twins share nearly 100% of their DNA. Because of this, they are more likely to respond similarly to the same stimuli. Our findings suggest that SEO may be explained, at least in part, by genetic synchronization rather than being a paranormal phenomenon. Next, we examined the relationship between twin language and simultaneous event occurrence, or SEO. All 5 participants who had experienced twin language also reported experiencing SEO. In addition, all of them were monozygotic twins and reported having had a close relationship with their co-twin during early childhood. This is the finding I find most interesting. It suggests that the factors underlying twin language, particularly genetic similarity and early childhood closeness, may also be related to the occurrence of SEO. The findings of this exploratory study suggest a possible relationship between simultaneous event occurrence and early childhood twin language. Although the sample size was limited, more than half of the participants reported experiencing both phenomena. This raises the possibility that these shared experiences may reflect an underlying level of interpersonal attunement between twins. Moreover, monozygotic twins may have an inherent predisposition towards synchronization because they share nearly identical genetic backgrounds. Previous studies have suggested that strong closeness between twins may be associated with emotional synchrony and shared experiences. In addition, synchronized neural activity has been reported in monozygotic twins, suggesting that twins may possess a high degree of interpersonal synchronization. Recent research on twin language suggests that interpersonal closeness may be a more direct contributing factor than genetic similarity, with genetics serving as a more fundamental background factor. The same study also suggests that the influence on later social development is mediated through twin language rather than through closeness itself. To date, there have been no direct experimental or scientific studies on simultaneous event occurrence, or SEO, in the fields of cognitive psychology, psychology, or behavioral science. However, physics provides an interesting concept known as quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is a phenomenon in which particles remain strongly correlated, even when they are separated by large distances. This phenomenon has been well established in quantum information science. Although there is currently no evidence that quantum entanglement applies to human relationships, the idea of correlations between physically separated entities may offer a new perspective for thinking about the phenomenon observed in this study. This study has several limitations. First, the sample size was small, which is the most important limitation of this study. Second, the findings were based on retrospective self-reports, which may be affected by recall bias. Finally, it was not possible to completely separate the effects of genetic and environmental factors. We hope to address these limitations in future studies by recruiting a larger sample and using more rigorous research methods. We are currently conducting a large-scale study involving approximately 10,000 twin pairs. By increasing the sample size, we hope to statistically examine the relationships among SEO, genetic factors, twin language, and interpersonal closeness. Our ultimate goal is to establish simultaneous event occurrence as a phenomenon that can be investigated scientifically. Conclusion. First, This study suggests a possible relationship between simultaneous event occurrence and twin language in monozygotic twins. The findings also suggest that shared genetic background, early childhood closeness, and twin language may contribute to interpersonal synchronization between twins. Second, although the sample size was small, this study represents an important first step toward investigating scientifically a phenomenon that has traditionally been regarded as anecdotal. Finally, we are currently conducting a large-scale study involving approximately 10,000 twin pairs. We hope this research will further clarify the relationships among these factors and provide a stronger scientific understanding of simultaneous event occurrence. I am also an identical twin, and I have felt a unique connection with my twin sister since childhood. Inspired by those experiences, I wrote a song by AI. I would like to end my presentation by sharing it with you. Thank you very much for your attention.